My fellow Americans, good evening. Franklin here, otherwise known as...
FDR.
Correct, FDR. I was your 32nd President of the United States, and I led this new nation for 12 years through both the Great Depression and World War II. And as you probably know, I was physically handicapped by polio. When I became president, there were 13 million people out of work, and most of the banks were closed. I never let it get me down, though. I was always confident in myself and in America. I was always cheerful and never fearful, and I did my best to dispel the fears of the nation. You, madam.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember my famous quote about fear?
Not really.
You have nothing to fear but fear itself. Correct?
Correct.
And then came Pearl Harbor. I had to steady the nation just as your President Bush is doing today. We both had our defining moment, our day of infamy. I must tell you, I am so delighted to be here tonight to meet once more with the fine people of Elizabeth City. You know, I was here on this very same Main Street 64 years ago, August 18th, 1937. By chance, is there anyone here who was there on that day? No, I thought not. You're all much too young. It was a beautiful, sunny day when my coach, Pioneer, and 6 other Pullman coaches pulled into the Norfolk and Southern Railroad station right up there at the foot of Main Street. At 9:27 sharp, I stepped down to the sleek Secret Service limousine convertible, and we started down Main Street. 10,000 people lined the streets and cheered as I motored by. It did my heart good, I can tell you. The Pappendicks, who built this house, were on the porch waving at me. Further up the street at the Culpeper House, the Leo P. Lewis Drum and Bugle Corps broke into the strains of Semper Fidelis, marvelous. Then at the foot of Main Street, we boarded Coast Guard cutter number 143 and set out for Manteo. A delightful trip. I always loved the sea. We motored through the cheering crowds at Manteo and on over to the coastal cottage of the Buchanan family for lunch. Beautiful cottage, still there, I believe. I didn't know the Buchanan family. In fact, they didn't even vote for me. But they had the biggest and newest house and the most servants. So Governor Huey decided that we should have lunch there. The Secret Service built a ramp up to the porch. No handicap accessibility in those days, and I slowly made my way up it. They had brought a sturdy oak chair for me to sit in. The neighbors and children crowded the porches of the neighboring cottages, and when we had gone, they swarmed in to sit in my chair and ask the Buchanans about me. We motored back to Fort Raleigh, where I gave a live radio talk to the nation and then attended the 350th anniversary celebration of the Lost Colony. Marvelous show. Have you seen the Lost Colony, my dear? Marvelous show, isn't it?
Marvelous.
Yes, yes. Afterwards, the highway patrol sped us back to Elizabeth City with sirens blaring. Great fun. By 11 p.m., we were on the train and on our way back to Washington. We had all had a marvelous day in Elizabeth City, one we would not soon forget. Thank you all for coming this evening. And if ever you are in distress, remember another famous quote of mine. When you are at the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on. Good evening.